are back with another episode. Yeah, I know. Took a little break, but get over it. Today, not only do we have another guest, we're joined by Bryan Tsang, but Jade and I are recording together in the same room in his lovely brand new apartment.
Yeah, guys, we've been waiting for this, anticipating this for like months now, because I was in Blacksburg for college and then moved to Ohio to do X. And then now finally I can settle down. It's pretty cool. As you can see, got some actual gamer chairs, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. in our blank wall.
Yeah. Cool things. I've recently just built a PC also. So I got to make all these super cool goals happen. I've been wanting to do that for like 3 years now. But that's besides the point. Let's go over some announcements real quick. Obviously, me and Lucas just got back from our Disney trip. Actually got back. I know we've been teasing it a little bit in prior episodes. Trip was amazing. When I kid you, when I kid you not, it was a perfect trip. I really emphasized like we were going to do everything. I think we just about did everything.
Oh, we did everything, and then we did some things again.
Yeah.
There were no characters though. Goofy did not pick up.
Yeah,
Donald did not do the Glizzy Connoisseur. So the trip could have been better, but
yeah. But we did meet Elsa, and Lucas wasn't happy to take a picture with Anna. But I don't know. That's for another time. But yeah, super cool to be back. Something to look forward to on our Instagram. We're going to be having some takeovers. Obviously, by now, Goldship done a takeover, unless something has happened by now. But we should be getting some takeovers flowing through. Mm-hmm. Any other updates? I think that's about it, really. And then obviously, me and Lucas are teaching our own groups right now. Lucas is currently back in from surf right now. I will be going out to Music City very soon. So just know we're going to try our best to get episodes out, depending on, when we're in rotation. So
yep.
Yeah, that's that. But without further ado, guys, let's get this episode on a roll. Here's Bryan Tsang.
Sweet. Thanks for the introduction. I'll give a little bit more of an introduction. I started playing cymbals back in 2012 at Cumberland Valley High School. And then 2013, I joined the drum corps thing through my tech. It was a small little drum corps called the Connecticut Hurricanes, DCA corps. Mm-hmm. They're still alive, actually. Alive. Yeah, I shouldn't say that. They haven't folded. No, they're still alive. Yeah, it's cool. Good for them. And then I stuck around with the DCA scene with the Reading Buccaneers for 4 years or something like that. And then, I did some other stuff. Have you guys ever done DCA? Like Jaden, Lucas?
No, our first year was in 18, and that's when we did scouts. So we kind of like,
oh my gosh,
got our butts handed to us. But
yeah,
actually, that's freaking crazy. Because I started my first season of DCI in 2018, but I started playing cymbals like 5 years before. Yeah, I actually tried out for Crossman in the 2018 season. Shout out to Brian Kendrick, the tech.
Yeah.
You guys all know. Yeah. He's the GOAT of his generation. Yeah.
He is oh man. Yeah. We've talked about him a lot. Yeah. If you haven't seen that episode, we've got 2 episodes up with Brian.
Yeah.
Check those out.
Brian's always watching the episodes. We're always casting so what's up, Brian?
Yeah. Shout out to Brian.
Yeah. Gonna repost this on Play That Research.
Yeah. But something that you haven't mentioned yet, which I'll go and say it. Fun fact, guys, Brian actually marched with my cymbal tech in high school, Ben Mitchell's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I remember during that year, though, he asked me, because at the moment you guys had a hole, he was like, do you guys want to march? Or like, do you want to march? And I was like, I don't think I can do PT. I don't think I'm ready yet. So,
yeah. But, isn't that funny? That like, really cool. Most of the people that try out or think about trying out for drum corps end up like kind of cutting themselves because they don't think they're ready, or for whatever reason. One of my friends I marched with at Oregon Crusaders 2018, shout out to OC 2018. He made the cymbal line because I probably shouldn't say this, but he ended up going to the final audition, like the callback audition, and nobody else went. So then he got in, You can finish the rest of the story in your head. I lost my words, but yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, just going off of that, I think a lot of people, they underestimate their talent. Like, for example, Scouts 18, I did not think I was as qualified, and I just went for it. And sure enough, I was surprised that I got a spot. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, we didn't even consider going until our tech was like, hey, you should go. Like we thought about it and we're like, what? Scouts? Like maybe in a couple of years, but it did not cross our minds until our tech was like, yeah, go. Just audition, see what it's like.
Yeah.
It happened.
And you guys were crazy. It was amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, sure, yes, the season happened and definitely was qualified, but at the moment, I didn't feel like I was qualified. So that's why I say, you can underestimate and be like, yeah, there's going to be the talent. I'm not going to be good enough. And sure enough, I just stuck through it and sure enough, got the contract. I didn't think I was at the level of those guys, but, you just have to kind of prove it throughout the season. And, that's what I did. Season went on and I was able to keep up. So
nice. Yeah. Congrats. Nice. Did you guys march indoor before that? Like independent?
Mason.
Yeah. It was our first year at Mason.
Yeah.
Nice. Who was the tech that recommended Scouts?
Oh, it was Megan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sweet.
I don't know why I worded Mason. No, Mason was amazing. Yeah. I just said that, I think, because it was... No, I worded that because we only had one season at the time. So it was we didn't have enough of a rep at the time.
Yeah,
so
that's fair. First year doing indoor independent and then jumping right into our first year doing DCI.
That was actually my same thing too. My first season of WGI was 2018 with United. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was cool.
Right.
That was cool.
We have a picture together.
We do. Yeah. We do. I was super stoked that you guys came up to us and were like, hey guys, hey CYMBALs. That was super, super neat.
No, so that's the funny thing though, is I think 2018 was probably, I know we're kind of steering away from the topics, but 2018 I think was my favorite United show. Just
the music was awesome.
Yeah, dude, thank you. Music. All me. It was all me. No, yeah, it was really awesome. Our design team was on fire. You guys know Paul Nez. He was, yeah, and you guys mentioned him in the previous podcast. Go check those podcast episodes out if you haven't, listeners. Yeah, cool. Sweet, yeah. I'm sorry. I should finish off my little resume thing. So 2018. Right after my season of DCI, I joined the Penn State Blue Band. That was freaking amazing. Probably the most fun I've ever had in band were in my 2 seasons of college marching band. And then in between those 2 seasons, I taught the Jersey Surf cymbal line in 2019. And that was the most amazing growth I've ever experienced through teaching these 4 students. So thanks to them. JSCL. Yeah, JSCL.
Yeah.
2019.
Gushers, as they call themselves now.
Do they?
It's kind of
that's so awesome.
It's a bad joke that is just caught on.
So wait, Lucas, you've been teaching Jersey Surf this the duration of this season, and they're on their mini break right now. Is that
they're about to start their mini break? And yeah, I taught for a little bit, and then this is actually this is going to be a whole story, but I can kind of talk about this. But so I was there in the beginning, right from the beginning of spring training.
Yeah.
And I was teaching. I was having a great time, and then I got COVID.
So
no! The rest of my time there, I was there for 10 days. The rest of my time there, I was just locked in my room.
That's
not even locked in my room at home. I was locked in this dinky little dorm room. But I'm excited because I am gonna jump on board for their second part of the tour, and I'll actually get to teach.
Do they have another tech? Another cymbal tech? Yeah.
Dan Tramp.
Yeah. Shout out to Dan. I love my Jersey Surf kids, the 2019 kids. 3 out of the 4 of them came back to the cymbal line after that season. So that was extremely, what's the word?
Humbling.
Humbling's good. Yeah. We'll go with humbling. Yeah. It was just, yeah, humbling. Yeah.
Teaching definitely is like, it's so much fun. It's also so much easier, I'll say.
Yeah.
When you get those blocks off while the kids are like doing Viz or whatever, it feels so nice. It almost feels, I feel bad sometimes. Like just coming off of a season of indoor and marching and having to do like 3 blocks a day and like having to do go through the grind. And then you start teaching, it's like, oh, I just stand in front of them and watch them sweat.
Isn't it? It's so awesome, right? It is so awesome. Yeah. And I got to say, first of all, shout out to Dan. He was one of my favorite students that I've ever taught. I've only taught like 2 other high school seasons, one indoor, one outdoor. But I learned a lot from Dan. He just had a really amazing attitude. And whenever I would ask him to like, you have to make sure you're not late on the choke or whatever I said, he'd be like, I will do it. And I was like, dude, yes, I'm going to start saying that. Yeah. But it's really cool.
To teach with. He's really nice.
Yeah. Cool.
Definitely. So just kind of go into one of the topics that we kind of pre-planned. We just kind of want to talk about where we're at with the current state of DCI right now. We like to give these little updates just, throughout the duration of, I want to say like our career, but our career just kind of ended. So I guess it's in the afterlife. I don't know how to word this, but like we know that obviously Music City, they brought in their symbol line. We know Pacific Crest, they got rid of their symbol line. And then now they're all the way down, which kind of stinks, but
they deserve it.
Yeah, for cutting the symbol line. Yeah, but I haven't been on tour yet with Music City, but I've got to say, from everything I've been seeing behind the scenes, it is. I guess this is gonna be the word that we're gonna be using, but it is super humbling to see where they are at this current moment. A lot of them didn't have much experience, and for context, I don't think a lot of people know this. This was put together very, very last minute. Like there's only a month of preparation. And that's why there's so many techs that are like assigned on. Back in 2021, we were trying to get a symbol line to happen, and that ended up not going through. I ended up not really hearing anything. And then in 2022, Talon, who was actually on the podcast episode, he was able to get everything finalized. He heard back from the Corps, and then that's how the team sort of assembled. And as you can tell, it was very last minute. So not everyone was able to hop on board, but they were able to drop everything they were doing and just go for it. And I got to say, for that, it is really cool. And from where they started to the videos I've been seeing so far, which you guys haven't seen yet, but from what I've been seeing so far, they're doing actually pretty cool stuff. I think they've got like a juggle maybe, but for a group of students who haven't been in those environments yet, that's super cool to just start off. And this is how cultures are built. Like you think back to Scouts in 15, right? They have to build a culture. Same with Scouts in 20, they have to rebuild that culture. And then now we have that culture going. People want to go to those places, which is super cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And just like crazy that we're getting a new symbol line in DCI. And like in this day and age, when all these lines are getting cut, a symbol line just pops up. I feel like that's like, you never see that. Normally it'd be like, oh, we're bringing the symbol line back. Like we cut the symbol line, we're bringing it back. But no, this is brand new.
Yeah. I really like that. I was thinking, but when I was listening to your previous podcast about how those drum corps are starting to get rid of their symbol lines, I see on Facebook a lot, like a lot of people get really upset about that for good reason too. But nobody ever talks about like what they like about symbol lines, or like whenever they were feeling grateful about a symbol line being existent. Like I don't see very much, I guess it's all like negative around the symbol online presence, but like really us symbol players are pretty freaking cool in my opinion. And I just think that we should probably talk a little bit more or share what we like about the cymbal lines and the cymbal community, like with that emergence in the Music City drum corps. Music City? Did I say that right?
Music.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Music City.
Like,
yeah.
Honestly, I didn't even know that until I listened to like the latest podcast where you said you were teaching, Jaden. But I'm totally gonna like share a post on Facebook if they like come out with something, because I think that it's better to be positive than negative.
Yeah.
Super basic. Yeah.
And I think we need to make this the topic of this podcast episode, because we already talking about like kind of self-cutting yourself. We had reached out to so many people, and I remember so many people saying, oh, they had something come up, or oh, like I don't think I can make it, or there's not enough time to prepare. And it's okay for me to say this, but a lot of those students that we have at Music City, they had very, very minimal cymbal experience. Like we have one who only had really college experience. And, from the college atmosphere, there's not many cymbal techs. It's a lot of being self-taught. Yeah. We also have a good amount of high schoolers, which, I don't know what grade they're in right now, but, that's usually not enough time to develop as a cymbal player. People think like I marched WGI world class and I'm the most qualified, but here we have a bunch of people who are starting basically from the ground up, I like to say, and they made it, and not many people just take that chance. And, like, obviously they weren't the most qualified because, all this was put together last minute. But you look at them now, and now here they are. They're going to be at the top because they took that risk of just saying, I'm going to do it. And it's not even like money was in the way. They had video auditions. So it's like when people make that excuse like, oh, I can't do it because of money, or, they make the excuse because they're worried about getting cut. It's like, it's very degrading because you'd be surprised what results you would get out of just going for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sorry to like trail off, but I think that for me, my time is like the most valuable thing in the world. Like what I do with my time is so important to me that if someone were to ask me to march and I was eligible to march, I don't know if I would do it now. Not because I don't have the money. Well, I don't have the money, but also because like I just wouldn't be able to make that time commitment. And that was really big for me in indoor too. So I could see how some people in the indoor scene, even though they're doing indoor, it's only on the weekends. So when they go to something like world-class DCI, it's probably a very big jump for them to like pull them out of their lives and drop them. Sorry, I don't know why I like went on that tangent. It was weird.
No, that's totally fair. I mean, we're definitely feeling it now, the whole time thing.
Yeah.
Definitely when you're younger and you're in college, you're more likely to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to devote my entire summer to do this, because I mean, you're still young. And at that point, your summers you're not doing too much. But going back to like people that cut themselves.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Like these people that are actually interested in doing it. And then like they have the time, but they're just like, oh, I don't think I'm going to make it. It's so crazy now because cymbal lines could get cut just because no one's showing up. Surf almost cut the cymbal line, not because they didn't want to have one, but because nobody showed up. Like we got through like 3 camps and it was getting towards the end of the season. We still only had like 1 or 2 people.
Yeah. And same thing with Music City. We had 3 people. We had people kind of go in and out. Obviously, for obvious reasons, it was last minute. And who knows if they would have gotten rid of the cymbal line. But, oh God, I lost my train of thought. It's one of those days today. But
I'm sorry. My mind goes like a mile a minute, 1,000 miles a minute. So I have no idea. Like I go off on random tangents and sorry. Yeah. We were talking about the cymbal lines in DCI. I remember that. And we wanted to discuss them further. Can we...
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But real quick.
Okay.
This closing statement though, that there are a lot of DCI lines that get threatened to get cut because they don't have the members. And you see a lot of people sort of self-cut themselves when we already have an issue of not many people auditioning to begin with.
Yeah.
So it's like, just take that chance. Obviously, you know, if you don't have the money, if you don't have the time, understandable. But I do think some people do fear that they're not good enough, you know? I already talked about this, but when I was at Scouts, like I was like, oh, I don't know if I should do this. Is it really worth that extra flight to get myself cut? But you know, things ended up working out. So that's what I mean by that.
I totally want to jump on top of that. When I was auditioning at Crossman in 2018, I had the same feeling going on in my head because there were like 4 vets coming back and there were going to be 4 spots. And then Bryan brought 2 of his kids from indoor or Jersey Surf and Infinity. So that was like, the odds were so stacked against me. But I don't know, I'm like quite egotistical, if you couldn't tell. But I thought I could get a spot. Like I thought I'm a good cymbal player. Like they have to take me, and that didn't happen. But I got fortunate enough to get recommended to OC. Not recommended, but Bryan was like, "Go try out here at OC 2018," and I just went through like another audition process, and it turned out being like the most fun season. Like, how do I put this? Like the 5 of us, the 5 dudes. We were so tight and it was amazing. Like I wonder like if I would have made Crossman, that would have been cool too. But like I wouldn't give up my experience at OC for anything. And that's just through the mentality of like, I might get cut. No, I was not scared of getting cut. That's why I like kept trying. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
But let me just add like, I'm sorry. When I did get cut at Crossman, I cried like I was so upset. It was awesome. No, it was great. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. But just sort of going off of that is like the mentality of, you know, if you don't make it, there is always going to be an opportunity, and especially this day and age, like. You will get that experience, you know, and in some cases you might have a better experience. So it's just one of those things, like, you know, just being open and optimistic.
Yeah.
Obviously for time, because we really cranked through. Yeah, we really cranked through time. Let's just kind of go over, you know, DCI season so far. So obviously we talked about that. BC doesn't have a cymbal line. We have Madison Scouts. Obviously Madison Scouts is they're going to be doing a takeover for us eventually. I gotta say, I haven't seen their book yet, but I'm already excited to see them, and I might be a little biased just because I've marched with 2 of them, but they're looking really good right now.
I've seen a little bit. They did a preview show where they live streamed the whole show, and there was like a couple shots where the camera would pan over to the cymbals, and I thought they looked pretty good. I'm excited to see them. Obviously we know we marched with Carly Christian, so we know them, and we're hyped to see them finally marching together in DCI. So super excited for that. And then also Colts alum over here. What do you think about Colts?
Yeah, Colts this year. You know, I'm super excited to see Colts because I know it's definitely, I don't want to call it a transitional year, but there's a lot of culture shift with that year specifically. You know, obviously, like we've talked about Brad, and like I marched with Brad and David, who have been at Colts for the last 3 years. You know, I've been doing this activity with them at Colts, at X, and you know, the 3 of us, we've kind of been in the scene for a long time, and even Nick, who marched after I was there. You know, the 4 of us, you know, we've been in the scene for the Colts and X, and obviously all 4 of us, there's no reason for us to be at Colts because we all aged out. So there's definitely a big culture shift. I haven't seen much with them yet. I am curious though. You know, if you look at their book in 21, there was a lot of juggles. Now, how achievable would that be now? Who knows? We've already talked about this. Juggles do not define if a cymbal line is good or not. But I am curious to see what kind of visuals will be thrown out. I do know for a fact there is one vet. I also know that Brad and David are both helping out with Colts this year. So I am very curious to see what they will be throwing out this year. So I am pretty excited.
Yeah, totally. I'm also excited to see those exact two cymbal lines you mentioned, Madison Scouts and Colts. Yeah. Because in the past, these two corps have been very juggling heavy, or not heavy, but like their vocabulary always has juggles. And I was kind of a late bloomer in the juggling scene. I actually learned how to juggle through BYO Straps, if you remember that Facebook group.
Oh my gosh, that's a throwback. Yeah. Oh man.
Not even juggle, just like off the hand stuff. And I learned it through watching Nick Catriona. I can't say his name.
Catriona, yeah.
Yeah, thanks. He was in high school when I was learning that stuff. So cool. But yeah, it's like I'm very excited to see like how has the modern day cymbal playing, or I guess like, yeah, how has modern day cymbals changed since when I was aging out at OC? Because I was doing like a little bit of juggles there, and I thought it was like the new hotness, but we were actually like pretty much not on the tail end of the trend, but there are other groups that were doing crazy, like just out of this world. And now, like 3 years later, or 4 years, it's grown even more. So yeah, I'm just really excited to see how it pans out.
Definitely.
Yeah. And over to our West Coast friends, we have Gold and SCV, which they're doing their thing and they're doing it real well. I've seen a couple of videos of SCV, and I mean, it's SCV. They're clean as hell.
Yeah. I actually really like your West Coast guests. They seem so chill. Like, yeah.
It's always a fun time talking with them.
I would have actually, one of my, not really regrets, but I would have liked to march a West Coast cymbal line just so I could have gotten like a wider knowledge of the cymbal playing activity. Because you only know what your texts teach you or like what you see online. But if I were able to get that teaching experience or learning experience from like people with a different perspective, then that would have increased my own teaching capabilities by so much. So that's something that I kind of think about whenever I look back on my cymbal playing career.
Definitely. And I've been saying that prior episodes too, so you're not the only one. But my stance on Vanguard so far, I haven't seen anything yet. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I did hear, however, they're doing a Nirvana show, which is kind of funny. You know? So, you know, I did it first. So, you know, watch it. I'm joking. But yeah, no, I'm really curious to see what's up with them because they're just... Oh, sorry. What'd you say, Brian?
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay,
that would have been like another tangent. Yeah, go ahead.
No, but they always look really clean in what they're doing, musically and visually. So I'm just very curious because I know a lot of them just got off a season with RCC. So really excited to see that. And then obviously the last one we need to talk about is Surf. Very excited to see what Surf is throwing down. Obviously, Lucas, you can talk about that more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to get back with them. I have not seen them since spring training, and it's been a long time. One thing, it has been a little rough with the Surf cymbals just because one of them hurt their foot in like the first week. So they've been in a boot and they're slowly getting back in, but it's still like a struggle, like having to march on that foot and kind of going through the pain. And then the other one got bronchitis. Like same week. It was crazy too because I got COVID. I was in quarantine. And then the student Asher, he was like, oh, my lungs don't feel so great. And I was like, oh, it's COVID. It's got to be COVID. And then they took him to urgent care and they're like, oh, it's bronchitis. I was like, bronchitis? How did you dodge COVID but get bronchitis during DCI? But that's been like a whole struggle too. So it's going to be interesting when I see them because I think they're just now getting everyone together so we can actually start like putting things together as an actual symbol line and having everyone all in on this, but I'm still excited. It'll be fun.
Yeah, man. I'm really excited for Jersey Surf as well. Not only because I taught there, but DCI has a very small cymbal community. So I think we should like give as much love to each of these cymbal groups as possible. So
absolutely.
Something I want to do some more of is like, well, I'm only going to be at DCI Allentown, but I would love to just record the cymbal lines and just post them everywhere, because I think that's like one of the best ways to spread awareness of cymbals, like what we love as a community, and just show other people like, hey, this is cool. This is what I'm into. And I think if you share stuff that you're passionate about, that is like the best way to live that passion. Like I think it was really cool that DCI is considered like the top of the activity. And I have never been good at anything in my life. So being good at cymbals gave me like this I don't know, something. And I was just very happy to pass it on to the Jersey Surf cymbal line. And it's really awesome seeing Dan in that tech position now, carrying my legacy, or the Jersey Surf legacy. So I really hope that like keeps going.
Definitely. Well, guys, this has been an amazing episode. Thank you, Bryan, for being here. Yeah, we went a little bit over, but that is okay. We wanted to give you guys the updates of everything that's been going on. Obviously, there's a lot to be said with the current state of DCI right now being good. I know we lost the cymbal line, but who cares? I mean, at this point, we're trucking through. Obviously, it sucks, but the people who were at PC are, they're still doing DCI. They're still at their peak. So I don't think really anyone got hurt in terms of like not having any opportunities. But hopefully after the season, more groups will continue to spread their cymbal lines. But I haven't been on tour yet with the Music City. Super excited to see what's up with them. Obviously with Lucas, super excited to see what's up with Surf. I'm sure obviously he's excited to hop back on. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. Thank you, Bryan, again. And we'll see you guys in the next podcast.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah. My bad, guys.
Everybody knows the rules.
Yo, it's been a long time.
Who are we?
It's terrible.
All right. Bryan, there's one thing you want to say to the cymbal community. What would that thing be?
It would probably be present. Be present. I mean, I guess I could go for all of the marching band activity or just life in general, but I think we're in a very delicate part of the cymbal growth experience. So it's nice to be mindful of like what you're doing in the moment. And DCI and drum corps is such a valuable thing that you can only do it while you're young. So yeah, just try to soak it all in. It'll be great. And now when you're old, like us, aged out, then you can look back and reminisce.
Definitely. I think I did everything.
Yeah, we got everything.
Okay, cool. All right, thank you guys again for another podcast episode. We'll see you guys in the next one.
See ya.